Hey there, nerds! It's me, Rosemoon, from Shadowfire Quills. And today will be magical! Okay, sorry. This video will be about a series called The Magicians, and one of its specialties, messing up tropes. If you've watched the show, don't worry, I am doing well and my mental health is good. But how about you? Whatever, if you haven't watched Magicians, I will talk about some major plot points, and I don't want to be the one who spoils you. This means you should probably stop this video right now and go watch the show before continuing this video. While I do encourage you to watch the show, be prepared to get into a mess. I mean, there are books that... No, I still can't talk about what happened to them. Anyways, let's dive into the universe of Magicians. The show is about a group of students who are enrolled at the University of Brakebills. A magical school, but it's not Hogwarts. Okay, they learn a lot about magic. Some weird stuff is happening, like some bad moth guy running around and killing people. And boom! The group of students is in the center of everything. It may sound like we're in a bunch of typical fantasy tropes here, but we're not, completely. Let me explain it with... Who volunteers? Ooh, Quentin! This is Quentin Coldwater. It all started with him, the boy who... No, not the boy who lived, but the boy who believed. He may or may not be the typical chosen one, so let's have a look at him. Quentin is not the hero in shining armor. He's a bit awkward around people and in conversations, but knowing him better, he appears to be really sweet and a good friend. Having a look at him as a character, his special trait is that he's a huge nerd. Not only as in being a fanboy, but he's also intelligent and understands sciences. So far, so good. However, he's introduced as a lonely person, suffering from depression and anxiety, lacking a purpose. After going through a portal to an entrance exam for Brakebills, he discovers that magic, that one thing he's always believed in and loved, is real, and he finally starts to heal. Only his shy personality and his low self-esteem remain, and those are the two things constantly holding him back. As an example, he isn't able to perform magic as well as he wants to, because his mental illnesses have made him insecure about his talents and still weigh heavy on him. Quentin overthinks a lot and practices really hard. We can understand what he's going through to chase his dream or live up to his expectations, and we know that stressing ourselves won't help at all, but we still do it, and Quentin did. Therefore, he isn't able to truly believe in himself, as he's only getting disappointed over his unsuccessful magic attempts. And yet, he thinks he believes in his talents. Anyways, struggling with himself doesn't make him more or less chosen, but it forms his character in a specific way and the picture one has of him. But is this boy a chosen one? Let's have a look at this trope. How do we know that the chosen one is the chosen one? First of all, they are usually put into the center of the story, and some kind of force chose them to do what they are meant to do. For example, fight against the darkness. Whatever they are chosen for, they are made for it by special character traits or powers only they have. Sometimes they are the literal basic hero, and other times they may have to sacrifice themselves for the common good. Whatever path the plot forces them into, they will fulfill their fate. More obvious hints to find out they are the chosen one are when people call or see them as the chosen one. Looking at Quentin Coldwater, some of this actually fits. In the very first scene of episode 1, season 1, his Professor Fogg and a mystical woman referred to him as the boy. It seems like they know a lot more about him and his fate than he does. The focus is on him, since they are not talking about the individuals around him, later his friends. He seems to be important when they are separately talking about him. They are not exactly calling him the Chosen One in that scene, but if you don't get Chosen One vibes from this, I don't know what else can make it more obvious. He's centered in the story when they stand him out like that. Maybe, if you put it together with the dramatic words of the woman, "It's happening." Yes, it means the bad guy is happening to them. Well, of course, this means both the group and the boy labeled as not ready are meant to save the world. And who's better for this than a chosen hero? That may be Quentin. Let's have a look at his story to see if we are right. As a typical chosen one, during the first season of the show, he's the one who discovers realistic dreams that lead him to what we call the plot. Quentin and his friends find out about another world and they can skip between this one and our world. The fun part is that our boy already knows this place called Fillory. Let's explain this real quick. Quentin is a huge fanboy of fantasy. His favorite books are Fillory and Further. Therefore, he already knows everything about this world, its places, people, traditions, and its whole history. Finally, it's his main character moment, which he has been waiting for. Not only because his childhood dream became true, and he's the all-knowing leader of the group, but there's something special about Fillory's kings and queens. Only those who are children of the world called Earth are chosen to reign. Wouldn't it be perfect to crown the one who loves Fillory and already knows everything about it? Yes! Even Quentin truly believed in his fate as the king of Fillory. But he isn't. He's not the chosen one, at least for Fillory. His closest friend Elliot is, after quoting a scene from Dirty Dancing, which made him the true king. Yes, Dirty Dancing? Don't ask questions, just don't. Moving on! Since we're at the point where Quentin may not be the chosen one, let's check his discipline. At Brakebills University, the students are usually sorted after their discipline groupings. For example, traveling and astral projection are a part of psychic magic. Phosphoromancy and cold magic are a part of physical magic, and there's a lot more. I don't want to name all of them. That would be a bit boring. However, Quentin's discipline is... well, honestly, it was that unexciting that I forgot what Quentin's discipline is. I had to look it up, and it is repair of small objects. At least it's helpful, just not that insanely special discipline you would expect from a chosen one. And there, we get back to his low self-esteem. On the one hand, Quentin always believes or kind of expects that he has to be chosen for something. He has been waiting for this his whole life because his hope never fades, which is good. It makes him go on and on. He tries so hard to be good enough and to keep up with his friends, but he never truly believes in himself. That's why he gives up on being the hero just to let Alice, his love interest, do this job. He has more trust in others than himself. Poor boy doesn't know that maybe exactly this makes him the chosen one he desperately wants to be. But there's a lot more happening which makes him think that maybe he isn't the hero. He only knows stuff. And this is where it gets really interesting. On the other hand, Quentin never sees himself as the true chosen one. Everything that's happening to him usually leads the hero of the story to that one moment you're waiting for. The character expected to be the chosen one finally becomes the hero and fulfills their fate. But the show tricks us on that one. We think these moments are happening because Quentin does. And we do think it as long as he doesn't give up hope on that. So as long as he believes in himself, he leads us to believe in him too. But as he slowly loses belief in that, we do too. This show manipulates us pretty well. And sometimes it's just pure confusion. Sometimes we and Quentin expect him to be special, because it's logical and the trope normally works like that. For example, when the queen or king of Fillory is chosen, or Quentin finds out about his discipline, there had to be at least something unexpectedly unique or a crowning moment like that. You know, when the hero finally discovers their ability to control all elements, while everyone else controls just one. Or they are the long-lost king or queen, or whatever. But Quentin never gets this moment, and every time Quentin gets disappointed over this, it forms his character into an even harder working person. But the picture of him as the only chosen one fades. Just as Quentin slowly doubts his abilities, personally I doubt him being the chosen one as well. Just as I already mentioned, throughout this whole show, Quentin gets more disappointed in himself, and that's why he keeps on sacrificing himself to do at least something. He tries so hard, he even dies for the greater good, and never comes back. The show goes on without him. There's a whole season without Quentin. How is that possible if the chosen one is dead? Now, is he really the chosen one? Maybe. I mean, we got him centered in the story, as he's also separately mentioned as the boy, while his friends are just them. He's chosen, otherwise he wouldn't be a part of the group that's meant to save the world. And when he sacrifices his life for the greater good, it has legitimate consequences. He may not be the hero or a typical chosen one, but he's special. As for the group, he's kind of the center for them, because he interacts with almost everybody. After his death, they not only miss him as a friend or lover, but also understand how important he was for the group dynamic. They feel lost without him and don't know what to do when it's time for another mission. So, who's the hero now? It would be boring if there's only one trope, right? Especially for something as popular as The Chosen One, there are some sub-tropes, and 2 of them might fit also for the Magicians and Quentin. Since The Magicians isn't a one-man show, sorry. The Chosen Many sounds right. The Chosen Many includes a bunch of mostly talented people. Even here, a single hero finds out about powers or magic, but they are not the only one. Those others around them usually know more about the lore, the skill sets, and might even have known each other for a longer time. And then the Chosen Wannabe can come in. Sometimes the Chosen Many and the Chosen Wannabe are mixed together. The Chosen Wannabe is someone who desperately wants to be the Chosen One, but isn't. They will be left out of this group, even though they try really hard to be a part of it. Sometimes they become the enemy or their ally. They might have the ability to fit in another role and do something even the Chosen One can't. For the Magicians, both work, more or less. This show never lets anything work flawlessly. Damn them! Of course, Quentin tries really hard to be at least worthy. Not necessarily the Chosen One, but worthy. He could be the ally since he has the knowledge and belief no one else in the group has. Yet he's never really left out of this group. Rather, he is the only one holding them together. So the Chosen Wannabe kind of fits in some ways, though not enough. But let's look at the Chosen Many, because there's not only Quentin. There's also a group of 5 others. Sometimes 1 or 2 more. Yeah, this show can be confusing. So what about the Chosen Many? They're Elliot and Margot, who already knew each other and the campus of Brakebills University. Alice is the one who's really good at magic, just like Julia, who will become a goddess and then loses it all. And so on, and all the others have special talents too, like Penny's traveling discipline. But without Quentin's fantasy, creativity, interest, and knowledge, they wouldn't even survive the first season. And after his death, they seem to be stuck without him, as I already mentioned. This means the Chosen Many are technically also a trope around Quentin, seeing as he serves as our focal character with a special skill, somehow in a group of special people. Quentin fits in his group and complements them. With that being said, Quentin's sacrifice actually makes him a hero. He may be the expected but also unexpected chosen one, seeing how his character and actions shake up expectations a lot. His sacrifices are definitely an important part of the chosen one trope, and he fits in the role by beginning and end, just not everything in between. It's just perfectly unusual and surprising how the trope doesn't look like the trope. And trust me, there's more. I mean, the Chosen One, Many and Wannabe decided to merge into one character? That's a lot to go through for Quentin and me. So, the moral of this episode is, this show holds too many tropes for this one video, and let's agree, Quentin is a somewhat chosen one. Thank you for watching, share if you like Quentin's or Chosen ones or actually know the series. See you for the next movie time, and my brain and I will now leave chat. Bye!